I'm gonna introduce myself a bit so that you know who I am, and it's a little less awkward for me. My name is Jazzy, also known as Jasmine. A little bit personal stuff about me is that I'm 21. I know I look like a 15-year-old. I'm not. And I work in a hospital. Don't love it, but I don't hate it either. It's kind of like I do it for the money, really. I don't do it because I have a passion for it. I have a lot of medical issues, which I will probably talk about in a different stream or maybe later. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested to know what you guys are doing and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm gonna talk about weird history facts I found online, which I've written down on my little book, as you can see here, and hopefully you find it interesting. So let's just go, really. So the first weird fact I found is when Israel was first formed, Albert Einstein for some reason was offered presidency, but he said no, and I could see why. He's a scientist. I don't think he really gives a shit about like politics and shit. That kind of sounds weird to me. Why would you though? Like, yeah, if you're interested in politics, I'd be like, yeah, fine, go for it. But I don't know, Albert Einstein. I don't understand that. I find it so weird. This probably isn't as shocking to many of you if you like history like me, but heroin was thought to be good medicine, so doctors would prescribe it. It's not just heroin, even morphine, even cocaine as well at one point. I heard Coke used to put cocaine into the drinks, because it was known as something good. But I don't know, don't quote me, I'm not entirely sure. What else? I would say, oh, this is a weird one. I thought this was kind of cute though. Before alarm clocks were a thing, there were these people called knocker-uppers, and what they would do is they'd shoot dry peas from blowguns at people's windows just to wake them up, which I think is kind of cute and kind of weird at the same time, because it's like, you cannot be that bad just to wake up in the morning, you know? I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand. There's a mysterious. This is a weird one for me. There's a mysterious 18th century shepherd's monument in Shugborough Hall in Staffordshire, England, believed to be left by the Knights Templar as the meaning of finding the Holy Grail. You know, I'm kind of 50-50 about the King Arthur. I know it can be true, and I kind of hope it is, because then it's like, you know, that TV show, I grew up watching King Arthur. There was this like kids TV show cartoon that used to come on. I kind of hope that comes true, and like they find some kind of evidence, because apparently somewhere they found Princess Guinevere's grave or body, that's in an old monastery or an old church, as far as I know. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just kind of putting it out there. Julius Caesar was a he was a guy. He was an odd guy, but he apparently was the richest man to ever live in history. His estimated net worth was $0.46 trillion. It's fucking hell. So he would probably be much more, I don't know, much more richer than Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk nowadays, wouldn't he be? Or would he be lower than them? That's interesting. I don't know why. Don't know. It's kind of weird. Alexander the Great, the guy who was lovers with Cleopatra, as you know her, um, he was buried alive apparently, but by accident. I don't know how you can be buried alive by accident, but in them times, in them days, being buried alive was kind of normal. That's why they have like the saying dead ringer, because at the time what they would do is when they buried someone, they would have a rope that would go down to a dead person, and if that dead person wasn't actually dead, they would ring it and they'd know, oh well, this person isn't actually dead. So that's really interesting because I learned about the dead ringer when I was in high school, because I've always loved history ever since I was in like primary school. My primary school experience was shit though. I'm not gonna lie. He was 32, which is pretty young to be honest. His empire was so big that it apparently stretched to the Balkans to Pakistan, which that's 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 big. Your empire is big. His empire was big. Obviously in 323 BC, he got sick, but his corpse didn't look like it was rotting, and it was for like 6 days apparently that had been left. Oh, this one's pretty cool because I didn't know about this, and they didn't teach me, and I'm kind of sad because I wish they did. But there were female gladiators called Galatrix or Galatrators, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Galatrix, I'm just gonna say, and they were rarer than male gladiators. I hope they have some written kind of evidence of these women being alive, like these women existing. I would love to know the most famous Galatrix there is in ancient Rome. That would be so cool. Okay, obviously being a gladiator was not glamorized. It was kind of like you were either born into into a poor family and you were forced to. You were either a slave, you or were sold as a slave, and you were forced to become a galligator, a galley, a galley, galley. I can't even pronounce it. A galliator. Um, if I'm pronouncing it right, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, um, it's kind of weird, but it's like also it's quite interesting. I do hope there's like some kind of written evidence of a female Galatrix, because I would be so happy. I'd be like, yes, girl. Women were doing stuff even then, even if women were much more oppressed. Because obviously in ancient Rome and even ancient Greece, women were like some areas women were put up on a pedestal. They were allowed to do stuff they wanted to do, whereas in other areas, women were housewives. Women were just known to give birth and that's it, and just take care of the kids, just kind of take care of the house and that's it. So I really do hope there is some kind of evidence, because I will be talking about it and I will be non-stop talking about it. That's it. Like, oh, this one interesting. So, as I said, Asian, you know, my dad's Indian, my mom's Pakistani. This is quite cool. So, in ancient Asia, execution by elephants was a popular form of punishment, as elephants are extremely intelligent and easy to train. So, what they taught them how to do was slowly break bones, crush skulls, and twist off limbs. That sounds hella painful. Oh god, if you can just imagine, they put this into a movie about ancient Asia in general, and it's like the war scenes and they're doing elephant scenes and the elephants are doing these stuff. Even if it's just to a fake dummy, like, oh, just the amount of agony that person must be in. Hello to my one viewer. Thank you so much for watching me. Thank you for thinking I'm very interesting. I'm not, but thank you. Thank you very much. Fox tossing was a very popular sport in the 17th and 18th century, which is weird. And it was popular with nobility, so like the royal family, like the ladies and lords, the knights and stuff like that, they were very interested in it. I don't know why. It's a weird sport. It was just involving a person throwing a fox as high and as far as they could, and it's like, why is that a sport? Like, that doesn't sound fun. The poor fox, what must he be going through? I don't know. A fox throwing, I would have to review that and be like, no, not interested, not very cool. Oh, apparently, I love my alcohol. I do drink. I'm a lightweight, but I do love my alcohol. So obviously, if you've heard of the Captain Morgan alcohol, I think it's a whiskey. I've never had it, but I've seen it. I've seen a lot of ads for it, and I would definitely drink it if I could find it. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Anyway, Captain Morgan apparently was a real man. Um, and he was a real captain who fought against the Spanish alongside the English in the Caribbean. He was knighted by King Charles II and died in 1688. His actual name was Sir Henry Morgan. So that's his full name. But England has this very dodgy history with conquering different sort of countries and doing a lot of bad shit. But England have done good stuff but bad stuff, so you kind of have to look at it both objectively and obviously the Caribbean, South Asia, parts of America, parts of Canada. There's loads of, they practically ruled half of the country, like not country but half of the world. So I don't know. England kind of dodgy area for me. Like, they have rich history, some rich history, really cool, really interesting, really stuff to think about, but also history that aren't so great, and you still have to think about it and be like, wow. Because, like, what happened in South Asia, the whole partition thing, it's a very touchy subject. And as a South Asian, when I imagine it, it's like my ancestors were involved. Like, there was so much bloodshed and everything, and it's like, it's not fun to think about. You know, it's great to think about how there were so many great freedom fighters and stuff, like Bhagat Singh and there's Gandhi and Jinnah. There's so many other amazing freedom fighters that aren't named enough. So maybe if you have a request, I can talk about them. But I don't know. Again, a dodgy subject, a dodgy topic kind of makes you think in good and bad ways. So we're going back to Italy, guys. The Leaning Tower of Pisa was never straight, but I feel like everyone kind of knew that the Leaning Tower of Pisa was never going to be perfectly straight. I think it was always going to be kind of wonky. I don't know why people thought it was going to be straight, but then again, maybe the architectures or the people who built it were like, well, it's going to be straight. It's going to be the perfect tall thing, tall Pisa it is, and it wasn't. But it was constructed in the 12th century. It was a bell tower, and the reason it was like that was because it was constructed on unstable ground, and that's when the tower started leaning. So I feel like they should have probably done the research and be like, is this ground good enough? Is it respectable enough? Is it, not respectable, but like, is it good enough to put on this specific place? Couldn't they have, I don't know, thought about other places in Italy that they could like make it? But then again, if they wouldn't have chosen the decision they did, the Leaning Tower pizza wouldn't be as big as it is now, even centuries later. centuries, years, eons, whatever. It wouldn't have been. So respect for them. Oh, this is an odd one, but I kind of wish it was part of the Olympics. So tug of war was never it used to be a part of Olympic sports and was part of the Olympic schedule between 1900 and 1920 and took place at 5 different Olympic Games. Now, this is probably going to be a stupid opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway because everyone has an opinion. I think tug of war would be an amazing sport in the Olympics because they have, let me see, they have BMX. Yeah, I think they have, look, they have so many Olympics anyway. They have the Winter Olympics and they have the Summer Olympics. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure those are the main two. There might be more, but I don't know. There could be, but again, I'm not entirely sure. But if they had put tug of war in, let's say, the Summer Olympics now, I would watch that. That looks fun because it's a sport everyone can do and it's an not easy, but it's a fun sport everyone can do. Even if you don't care about sports, you would watch tug of war and be like, yeah, I can do that. And then you'd be like, yes, let's play tug of war. It's part of the Olympics. We're also special. Us normal people can do something. Yeah, but no, they had to remove it. But it was in the 1900s to 1920s, and I feel like in them times, or lots of things were different. Lots of things were probably considered sports, like probably other weird stuff. Like tug of war isn't that weird, but they probably had weirder stuff like, I don't know, maybe jousting was still a thing then. You never know. Oh, this is one for the gamblers. I'm not a gambler. No offense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But this I found I didn't think about. So when you think about lotteries, you don't really think about when's the oldest lottery or when did they ever first do the first lottery thing. You just kind of like lotteries, yeah, they exist. I don't do it personally, but other people might do it. But apparently, the earliest ever lottery was during the Chinese Han Dynasty between 205 to 187 BC. The lottery was created to help pay for major government projects, including for the construction of the Great Wall of China. Now that's kind of crafty, you know why? Because even then, the government, like back then, were still thinking about how to get money out of poor people like us and like how to get the government getting bigger and stuff. And obviously, the Great Wall of China is, I think, part of one of the 7 wonders of the world. I think. I don't know. But the Great Wall of China is amazing. It's so cool. I would love to go China and visit. And just like visit China in general. Like, I would love to visit Asia in general. I think Asia is so cool. Like, just anywhere. I would love to travel. Like, I've been to Austria, I've been to India a few times. I've been to where else? Italy. But in Italy, I just went to Rome. Kind of the basic. I wanted to go Venice or like any other places. But I would love to travel around Europe because I'm in Europe, I'm in the UK. Even if the UK isn't considered part of the EU, I am Irish, so I have a bit of a I can do whatever kind of thing where I can travel. But I would love to travel somewhere where there's a lot of rich history because I just love learning about history, and as you can tell, I'm really passionate about it. Even if I have like these really stupid notes I've written on my book, like I was so happy researching stuff. Like there's this British show that I grew up watching from primary school called Horrible History. Like that was my introduction to history. That was when I was like, hey, history's cool. History is disgusting, but history's cool. There's stuff about the past. And as they say, history repeats itself, which I think is very true in a lot of ways. Because back then there was a lot of stuff that happened, and now there's stuff that's kind of happening again. So I feel like it's kind of a cycle, or like the circle of life in a way. Shakespeare, he's a very famous writer. Everyone knows him. I hope so. I actually went and visited his hometown, Stratford upon Avon. So cool, so history ridden. Like I gotten a few Shakespeare books. I've always loved reading Shakespeare books since high school. People thought I was weird, and I was like, I don't piss off. But people thought I was weird anyway. I thought I was an alien. I still feel like an alien because I don't feel like I fit in anywhere. But that's for another time. So anyway, Shakespeare apparently created the Yo Mama jokes. Now personally, I love Shakespeare. He did a lot of amazing works. Like the classics, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth. What else is there? There's Midnight Summer. There's a lot of amazing stuff he wrote about. But Yo Mama jokes really. Couldn't he have thought of like other proper jokes? That's kind of stupid. I don't respect him in that way. I think he should have done better jokes. Come on, Yo Mama, really? I feel like that's a joke. Even in primary school, I thought those jokes were stupid. Honestly, William Shakespeare, how dare you? Yo Mama jokes, if anyone else was to do it, I would have been like, okay, I can believe it. But Shakespeare? No, I can't believe it. You know, it's not the most shocking joke. I mean, it's not the most shocking. I mean, he's more known for his impeccable wordplay and his poetry and his playwrights and stuff like that. But he started the joke, and I'm like, you shouldn't have started it whatsoever. Like, if someone else did it, I would have been like, fine, I understand. I don't respect it, but I understand. But Shakespeare, really? I don't know. Anyways, spiked dog collars were invented in ancient Greece, apparently, to protect their dogs' throats from wolf attacks. Now, this makes sense to me because wolves still exist, yeah? But they're like far away from us now. They're in like mountainy, snowy areas, as far as I know. And wolves are hella dangerous, and they move in packs. You know, there are a few lone alpha wolves, and the whole meme about if you're a beta male or an alpha male, and that's a whole stupid topic altogether. But this makes sense. This is smart of them. The lottery bit I said about the Han Dynasty doing it for people paying for the Great Wall of China and just to kind of help the whole Chinese government. That's also a sneaky smart thing because they're using people because they don't want to get their money out. Whereas in here, they're protecting the poor doggos, and I love doggos. So anyway, you can protect doggos in any century, any time, you do it. Anyways, these collars are called melon, and they're leather collars, and were given to sheepdogs and farm dogs. Again, this makes a lot of sense because sheepdogs look after the farms and sheeps, and farm dogs look after, obviously, farms. So, I respect the ancient Greece for doing this because anytime you can try and save your doggo, just do it. Save your doggo. They're very important. Alexander the Great. Have we talked about him? No, we haven't. Oh, actually, we have. Yeah, he's back again. He did a lot of stuff, and I can see why he's known as great. Killing himself was not great for Cleopatra. Like, it may be romantic and stuff, but why would you do it? It's like, I'm sorry, I'm going off topic, but it's like Romeo and Juliet, or like any type of lover that you've heard of that have killed themselves, whether it's Romeo, Juliet, Hiranja, Sasibuni, there's so many people. There's so many lover stories where both families hate each other, but then the guy and the girl love each other, but they can't be together, so they kill themselves. I hate this whole thing. It's like, I know in them days it was different. You couldn't just run away and say, okay, we're gonna live our lives out here, because you would be ostracized wherever you go, because you would be the town gossip. And words hurt, okay, that's understandable. But you know what isn't understandable? Killing yourselves. Yeah, I know I know the women mainly are gonna be forced into marriages, which is not cool. You know, forced marriages still happen in quite a few countries. Like, mainly, as far as I know, mainly Asian countries, like South Asia. It's a big problem. Pakistan, India, big problem. I don't know about other countries, other Asian countries, but I'm pretty sure they do it too. But like, I know there's no way to get out of it, but you shouldn't kill yourself over it, you know? I don't like it. But anyways, let's get back into topic. Alexander the Great was the first Western rulers to introduce India to Greek culture, which is shocking, because I didn't think, I don't know, when I think of Alexander the Great, I think of his like very big, very famous library he made that was destroyed. I think it was destroyed in a fire or something, but I will double check that. But I think of Alexander the Great doing a lot, including killing himself for Cleopatra, which I don't respect, but also like Indian culture. I'm very confused. I mean, I know there was the whole trade union, and to get silks and spices, they would have to interact the West and the East and the South Asians. They would all have to really talk to each other and, like, pay each other. If you want my silks and spices, you have to pay me and whatever, whether that be food sources or whatever. He also introduced it to the world, which is quite cool. But now whenever people think of India, they just think of Bollywood, the music. The music are bangers, don't get me wrong, but, they kind of think it's cringe and stuff, and I think it kind of propelled after the whole PewDiePie versus T-Series thing. Obviously, I was on PewDiePie's side, don't get me wrong, but T-Series is like my childhood. Like, listening to that shit on repeat, fucking great. After his death, the link fell apart for centuries, which is sad because I feel like if Greece and India had kind of kept this connection with each other, they'd be really strong, and I think it'd be a pretty cool and unique kind of thing, because countries have favoritism within each other, because like there's the whole politics. I'm not a politician here, so I'm not gonna get into that bit, but it's like certain countries lean more towards each other, like Muslim countries lean towards more each other. Like, I'm sure they have like favorites between each other, but it makes sense. But also, it's like it would be interesting to see how Greece and India would be together if they still had that like really strong connection. Obviously, that connection is no more. I don't think. Doesn't look like it. I don't think it doesn't look like it, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm not though. Anyways, let's go back to the Greeks and Romans. We love the Greeks and Romans right now. So the Greek and Roman statues were mostly colored, but the reason why we don't see the color anymore is because it tends to fade over time and people removed the color. I don't know why would you. I don't know who would remove the colors. Like, I think all those amazing statues you see in museums and stuff, it would be so cool to see it in color, like with the paint and the original paint and everything. When people talk about statues are like, oh, it's so boring, there's no colour. Yeah, well, you dumbheads. Yeah, well, you dickheads. It was removed over time because paint fades. It's like paintings. The reason paintings and the colours to those paintings haven't gone is because they've preserved it. The museums have preserved it so that people can see the beauty of it. Whereas, like, I don't think anyone. Whereas statues, I feel like people didn't really give much importance to, which is very sad because statues, making statues, as far as I know, takes a shit ton of work. Like, it takes a lot more work than painting, let's say. You know, I love me some Leonardo da Vinci paintings, but Michelangelo Statue of David is a masterpiece because he worked on it for ages on end. Sistine Chapel took forever to do. Respect the man, yeah, respect. I think every artist should be respected for what they do, regardless of how long it takes or whatever. But it's like, before you speak about something that you're not sure of, do your research. Like, I do my research before I talk about something that I'm not sure about. And if I don't do my research, I don't talk about it. And, you know, that's kind of how it should be. But obviously, the internet is the internet, and people are people, so people won't shut up and talk. You know, they'll talk about whatever. But, you know, Greek and Roman statues are really cool, honestly. It's sad that some of them have been broken and the colors have been removed, because I think if we saw a proper, let's say, statue of David with color, I would be in awe. I'd be like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is beautiful, this is just breathtaking, you know? This is an odd one, and I don't know, you know, I'm not a big mathematician, I don't like maths. The whole meme about Asians being good at maths, I don't fit into that. I am shit at maths. Don't ask me to do calculations and shit in my head. I don't want to. Don't force me. Do not. Okay, unless you want to die. Come on. But apparently well, I can't speak. Why can't I speak? I don't know what's happening. Anyway, Arabic numerals were invented by Indian mathematicians. See, I knew it. I knew it. What? Why would Indian mathematicians make Arabic numerals? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, even when I saw the research and I was like, what the hell is this? Why would they do it? I don't understand. The numbers we use today are known as Arabic numerals. Arabic numerals? So, I don't know. I'm gonna skip this. I don't do maths. I don't want anything to do maths. I don't like maths. Don't ask me to. Anyway, let's get into the next thing. Salem witch trial. Real sadness. Age check, I'm 21. I will be 22 in August. Yes, I am actually 21, I promise. But anyways, witch trials. Salem witch trials. Infamous, honestly. The most infamous thing you can do. That happened in history anyway, I mean. Obviously everyone knows what happened to witch trials. Quite a few women were burned to the stake, which is sad. You know, shouldn't have happened. Very unfair. Very sexist, but then again, in them days, sexism was rampant. It didn't really fucking matter or how old you were, or, you know, what you did. As long as you had a black cat and you were acting suspicious to people in your town in them times, it was kind of normal, and it's like, it's not normal anymore. You shouldn't burn people. It's kind of a normal thing. It's kind of a rational thing, you know? But yeah, anyway. Witch trials, witches were well, these women were accused of being a witch. I don't know why, but you know, that happened. Um, but apparently they weren't burned at the stake, and that's what I thought they were, but apparently they weren't. I don't know. The majority were either jailed or hanged. None of the 2,000 accused people were ever burned alive. That's shocking to me. I thought they would have been burned. Why? Wait, I mean, it's good they weren't burned because it's less pain to die that way. I mean, it's painful to die being burned alive, like fucking hell. But I don't know. Being hanged is still not great, you know. I feel like quite a lot of people, for some reason, are like that. I don't know. You know, it's sad. It shouldn't be happening. You know, it's sad. It really is. You know, I don't know. But yeah, it just makes me sad. You know, people, it makes me sad. Why are people, hello people, but why are people, I don't know, like the whole, when I hear about witches and people being burned to stake and stuff, it shouldn't have been like that. It's not just even white people, it can be like even people in your own country who will do the same. Like, I'm pretty sure in India, Pakistan, like different parts of Asia, people were like, oh well, this person's a witch, so they're gonna be, I don't know, let's say we're gonna get this witch out of her because she's being possessed. And they do so much shit to this woman, and it's like she doesn't deserve it. It's like maybe here's a thought. Maybe she's not a witch. Maybe she has mental health issues, or maybe I don't know, maybe it's just the pressure of being a woman and society in general. It's just bad, honestly, and disrespectful. Um, Here's a little animal fact. I like animals. I like doggos. Doggos my favorite. Ferrets, dogs, and monkeys were the most popular pets in the Roman Empire. Ferrets? Why ferrets? I don't. Dogs and monkeys, I guess I can see that, but ferrets? I don't see why ferrets are. I don't know why ferrets are very popular, but ferrets were used to hunt mice and rats instead of cats. They were they used dogs as guards and monkeys as entertainment. See, that's sad. Using monkeys as entertainment, I find that very sad because as far as I know, even in the Georgian era in England, they would use monkeys as entertainment, which is just sad. I mean, now that I read it, ferrets being used to hunt, I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's like cats make much more of a sense, you know? Like, I don't know. But monkeys as entertainment is always very sad. Dogs as guards, I feel like that's kind of normal because it's kind of been like that since the Stone Ages. They've always had dogs, and dogs have always been loved. But yeah, monkeys just don't use monkeys as entertainment. Just let them be. Plus, monkeys are violent as hell. Like, fucking hell, the shit they can do to you, they can rip you apart if they go mad. Oh my god. Turtles, though. Turtles are nice. Turtles can be very fast, though, but the only reason they're slow is because of their shells, which is kind of sad, but it's also very cute. Um, Speaking of Victorian era, we're gonna change it to Victorian era. Or speaking, oh, I don't know. I was talking about Georgian era, now I'm gonna go to Victorian era. The more depressing area of like Queen Victoria age. In the Victorian era, men with moustaches used special cups. What? Special cups. These moustache cups had especially made mugs that had man's moustache had which stopped. Oh, okay. I can't read. I'm sorry, guys. Which I can't talk. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, I can't talk. Let me try again. So in the Victorian era, so basically these men who had special I can't speak. I don't know what's wrong. Anyways, basically what would happen was these people, these men mainly, who had these special mustaches would have these special mugs where it would stop their mustaches from dripping onto the warm cups of tea, which I think it's kind of weird, but I'm not a big mustache person. I don't like it. I see one and I'm like, that man reminds me of an old Victorian man, and I can't take you seriously. I don't know why. It's weird. Just why? Maybe stop. Maybe. I don't know. This one was a weird one. I had to put it in because I was like, it makes sense, but it's also like really weird. And if you think about it, it's like, can't you just shave it off? Just kind of fucking just let it go. Oh, World War One and Two. So D-Day landings. That was a thing that happened during the whole World War fiasco that was going on. So the UK government collected postcards for the D-Day landings. These postcards were sent to the War Office and helped form parts of the decision to choose Normandy as the location for D-Day landings. That's kind of cool, but it's also like can you just have used and like couldn't you have just used your like special spies you had at the time? I don't know why. It's just like, come on. Like, come on. But also, it's interesting because people don't really use postcards anymore. I think postcards are pretty cute. And it should be used more often, I think. But it's not. Sadness. All about technology and phones and stuff. But D-Day landings in Normandy, I never thought. Now that I think about it, if someone was to put, let's say, I don't know, if World War One or Two, like the whole thing that's happening in Russia or Ukraine, sorry, is very sad, and it's like, I don't know, it's like, it makes sense. They probably had some kind of strategy going through it and saying like, oh, I should have this specific place for the D-Day landings to help with the war, and this is gonna happen. So that bit's very interesting, but it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have any more facts for you guys. I wish I did, but you know, this is my first ever stream. I'm still trying to get used to it. I want to do at least an hour stream so that it's not like I'm not getting lazy or anything. I want to make an effort. I'm genuinely interested in streaming. And I've grown up watching YouTube. I'm a Zoomer. I'm a proud Zoomer. I grew up watching YouTube a lot. I watched more TV and YouTube. I didn't really watch streamers. I still don't really. But any suggestion you guys have for streamers that I might be interested in watching, I will definitely look into. I have a full-time proper job. I work in a hospital. It's it's not a job I want to do or I want to continue, but I'm just doing it because it brings in the money. I don't have the luxury of being a rich material girl doing whatever I want. It's not really it. I wish, but I'm not. I live over here with my mom. I'm the only support she has. My brother's in and out, yes, but he doesn't actually live with us, and I mean, yes, he helps us out as much as he can, but it's like he kind of ruined our plans. But I don't hold that against him now because he's like, we're all adults at this point, we can't do much. It's kind of unfair to kind of put the blame on him. Like, a lot of stuff have happened to me, and if you lot are interested to know my life and just me in general and how stupid I can be and like the stuff that's happened to me, I will willingly talk to you lot about it and warn you guys and give you little red flag warnings because family is suck. Because family aren't great, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there, family are not great. Personally, I feel like you make your own family. Like you have the right, and the saying of like blood is thicker than water is very true because it's like family isn't gonna stay with you forever. Like you can always find someone else and they can be your family, you know? Like my chosen family was not the family I particularly loved in a way. I did love them at one point, but you grow up and you see shit and you're like, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, it's unfair. You know, especially in Asian culture where you're grown up and you're practically taught that every single adult who's older than you, you have to essentially just respect because they're older than you. You know, they you just have to respect them. Like no matter how disrespectful they are to you or to your immediate family, like let's say your mom, your dad, your brother, you still have to be respectful and you have to do this and that. And it's like, no, fuck off. Why should we? You know, it should be something that, you know, I think respect is earned, not given. So I don't respect people who are like, oh, well, I'm older than you, so you have to respect me. No, I will respect you if I see you are a respectable person. But, you know, it's so annoying, you know. It's really annoying. I know I'm ranting on, and I'm really sorry for that one viewer watching me, or maybe two, I don't know at this point. But, you know, I've also grown up having a lot of medical issues, so my heart goes out to those kids who I see when I'm doing my work in the hospital, in the admin side, where it's like, you know, no kid deserves to be in and out of hospital because it's like, they're kids. What do you expect them to do? They don't know any better, and it's like, come on, it should be better for them, but life is hard. Life throws a lot of shit at you, and you don't really know what to do. It's like, you know, you can't do much. It's all weird. You know, life is weird. Sometimes you feel like an alien, sometimes you don't. It just depends on how you've grown up, I think, in that sense as well. You know, um, I wish I had more facts I'd put down or written down or had googled so that you guys would know, but I don't, because I'm an unprepared idiot, and I'm sorry. I really am sorry. But you know, I'm just gonna talk about stuff. There are topics I will not talk about. Two topics that I will not refuse to touch on ever. So the two topics I will never talk about are politics and religion. Religion is a especially touchy subject and is a very personal thing that I have quite a few feelings about that other people may not have. So yeah, religion and politics I'm not interested about. I don't really care about politics. It's just kind of there, you know. I don't know what to do. It's like, yeah, I might play games, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm not gonna play like PUBG or Fortnite or whatever. I'm not really interested in that shit. I might play Mario Kart. Mario Kart is my shit. That's the one thing I will never stop, you know? If you guys have any suggestions and stuff, feel free to give me some suggestions and I can do my research and work on it. You know, I might stream tomorrow. Hopefully there's a bit more engagement, but you know, I have to keep at this and that's all I can do. Just keep at it. But yeah, these facts I was reading were quite interesting. The lottery one really got me because I was like, fucking crafty people, I tell you. Also the elephants as war machines. That's brutal, honestly. That's fucking brutal. I don't think anyone deserves that. Albert Einstein was a weird one. I mean, why would you want him as president? I don't think he wanted to be it, so that's why he said no. But it's like kind of weird if you think about it. Heroin as medicine and morphine is kind of normal because I feel like everyone kind of knows it at this point that in them days it's like drugs were medication, like actual proper hard drugs were medication, and so it's like not too shocking, but you know, still there in around. I'm just kind of trying to figure this out. I don't know. I've never streamed, you know. Some streamers I respect and I look up upon, even if I don't watch them religiously on Twitch, I will watch them on YouTube because YouTube's my thing. Pokemon and Valkyrie. I love watching them. Honestly, I love them. Even if I'm not a big gamer, or even if I don't particularly care about games, I will play games and I love games, but it's like, well, I respect them and I look up to them. They're really huge inspirations for me as to why I wanted to start streaming. Obviously, as I'm nervous and I am so nervous, and even if it's just this one viewer, I respect you a lot and I love you lots. Thank you for watching me or choosing to watch me, you know. So, I don't know. It's kind of like that. K-pop I'm not really into. Please don't come for me, K-pop stans. I have nothing against K-pop. I don't listen to it. It's not my thing. But Alexander the Great, he did a lot of stuff, you know. Respectable stuff. Maybe not all, but some he did quite respectable stuff. And it's like pretty cool to think about now. But you know, it's like up and down. It depends. I do have like a list of stuff I want to talk about. I'll just say some stuff I'm really interested in and just kind of maybe might talk about it in the next stream, which might be tomorrow, might be Tuesday, could be any time. Originally, I was supposed to start streaming yesterday, but I chickened out and I was like, I want to do more research and kind of see into how to stream because I was trying to figure out how to do it. But now that it's so easy, I was like, I'm such a coty, I'm such an idiot, you know? So topics I'm really interested in, obviously history, I've just talked to you guys about. Art and just artists in general. I love art. You know, I'm a sucker. I don't like this whole Picasso art stuff. It's not my thing, but it could be your thing and I respect it, but it's not my thing. I'm not interested in it. Makeup or maybe skincare, I really like. I have grown up with acne, I still have acne. I don't know if you can see it, but you know, it's a struggle. It's not fun. Makeup I don't really wear, so I might not even mention it. Like, depends on how I feel. Games, we'll definitely talk about games. I will dive more deeper into my medical issues and stuff because I feel like that's a very important topic that not many people really talk about, like especially growing up having so many medical issues and then having those medical issues and getting operations and then the aftermath of having operation scars. It's not something you really get a choice in. Well, it's not something I really got a choice in. It was just more like I was too little. I didn't make the decisions because I was a child. I couldn't. So the doctors and my mom did, and I don't regret it. Medical, my scars are just there. I don't really care about it. If you see me or you see my scars, it's like I don't care. It's just there. It's not that big of a deal. I will be talking about family too. I probably won't mention family right now. Maybe later on, I might talk about family and the toxic side of family, especially within my culture and my upbringing, and how it really made me into the person I am. They really played a role into it, and I might even cry. I don't know. I don't want to cry, but could be anything. Acne, that kind of gets into my skincare, so it's kind of goes in together. Obviously, I've grown up with acne since I was 13, since I was 12 or 13, and it really has bothered me for years. And it still bothers me now, but now that I know how my skin works, I know what works and what doesn't work, and I still do try to use different products and stuff just to kind of mix it up and see, well, is this product better for me or is it worse? Or, anything like that. I might even mention a few YouTubers, my favorite ones. So I don't know, it'll be just what I want to talk about, really, Friends, might have friends on stream. It depends. I don't know. I don't have many friends. I am a loser, as you can see. So, yeah, I don't know. It could be anything. I don't know. K-dramas and Pakistani dramas. This is my shit. I can talk about this for days on end. But the thing is, with K-dramas, I don't know the actors or actress's name, and even if I do, I cannot pronounce it. With Pakistani actors and actresses, I can name them. I can name the dramas. I can name K-dramas, but I can't name the actors or actresses within, or even the characters. So that may be a little bit of a downer. But you never know. I will talk about it. I might even do a stream only speaking in Urdu or only speaking in Punjabi or Hindi or whatever. I might do that because, I find it very respectable about people who can speak their mother tongue or any other language. I find people so much more interesting if you can speak more than one language, because it's it takes a lot of effort to learn that language, so use it to your advantage. Use it whenever you can use it. It's kind of just go for it, just use it. I'm on your side, respect, but yeah, more than one language, love. I wanted to learn French in high school, and I tried for years, and I'm still trying, and it's not going well. I think I might even give up learning French. I can't speak French. I've tried. I can do the basics, but it's I can't. Maybe I can learn a language. Maybe I can learn an Asian language. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, there's the whole growing up South Asian, kind of the alienation and the feeling of it. I will definitely talk about that. There are some subjects that are quite heavy. I do have random conspiracy theories that I would love to talk about. I'm not gonna say any of them because I don't want anyone stealing it. But I do have quite a few of my own conspiracy theories that I haven't really seen anyone talk about, and it's quite interesting. And it's I'm gonna dig deep into it and see am I being an idiot, or is there something really to do with it? Because people deserve it. People really deserve it, honestly. It's I don't know. I want people to know that conspiracy theories can be cool and not just for kids and not like a whole weird Shane Dawson kind of thing. Like, I feel like people, and I'm kind of guilty of it too, that I considered conspiracy theories as